It's Simone. I have a band-aid kind of day. The air is really dry and so all of my fingers really look very messy, so I covered this up with this cute Valentine's Day band-aid. And then I cut myself with my paper trimmer, with my guillotine paper trimmer. I I don't know, my fingertips were out of the way, but somehow I must have bent over my finger like this and then just cut into here. It bled really badly. So I haven't started my February DaisyDori yet, and it's really time to start. What I actually did was I have taken notes of things I want to journal about, and this is really a lot. I'm very scared that I took on a really big journaling journey that I will not be able to finish. So I really need to start and work on it. But I wanted to show you what I will be using for February and also cover the cover and undo the staples and bind it with thread. If you're really interested in seeing how to sew a spine that has been previously stapled, please leave a comment down below and I will gladly film a separate video for you where I just show how to do this. And I will have DaisyDoris for the next year, so whenever you need it, I will be able to film one for you. Then let me show you this sticker sheet. It is from Studio Calico and it has 12 numbers on it, and I thought it would be really cool if I stuck one on each of the notebooks that I am making throughout the year. And then I also got some parts of the Little by Little collection by Chamel. I got them from aprillilyshop.com. I'm on her design team, and so it was totally clear that if I wanted to get some scrapbooking stuff to go with my DaisyDori, I would get them from her. Then I have this box where I pulled all of the journaling cards from my stash that I think might go. They are from the Coco Daisy Day in the Life kit. They are from the Planner add-on kit, the Simon card in the front. This is one from Brandy Kincaid and Feed Your Craft. This was in a Day in the Life kit as well. Another one, Feed Your Craft. And so I just looked through my stash and pulled everything that I thought might go. This, for instance, is a card from Citrus Twist Kits, and I really liked that plain reading list thing. It will go with a lot of different colors, so everything that will work with my journal is in there. Yeah, then I got this cool notepad from my friend. I thought maybe I would tip in one of this. These are the dashboards, and I have more of them. I also have the personal size, and then I have this box that is full of the die cuts for February from the Coco Daisy Planner kit. And then I also threw in glassine bags, leftover die cuts that I went through and found and didn't have a home. This is from December. This is an LA Studio Tech, the cork pieces from Citrus Twist. So everything is in there. Now this is stuff that I have already been using last month. These are washi strips that came in a Coco Daisy scrapbooking kit last year, and I really wasn't able to use them in my scrapbook layouts, but here in my journal they were perfect and they will stay until they are gone or I'm sick of them. Then I have some white paper and some 4x6 journaling cards, also from mostly all of them from Coco Daisy and or Feed Your Craft, and it's just, this is a card from the planner kit, the rest is from the Day in the Life kit, and this is just in there so that I can use it. And I have actually been starting to use them more and more, and I really like how that looks. I hope to be able to show this to you in a future video. Definitely in my journal flip through. So I'm using these exclusive papers from Coco Daisy that came in the February planner kit, and this I'm going to use them to cover up the plain craft cardstock cover. And I just showed you that I sewed the spine with red baker's twine. So now I'm getting out my big, huge 12 by 12 trimmer from Tonic Studios, and I really love it, even though I cut my finger. I showed you here like that. So please, if you have one of these, be careful not to cut yourself. And then this is what I'm going to use. I'll just add glue to the back and then cover the front with this piece of paper. And if you have noticed, I do not really care if the front and the back look alike, so I'm not going to add another piece of this paper to the back. I'm just, playing, and the front doesn't need to look like the back. If you watched my January journal flip through, you might have seen that the front of my January journal doesn't look any way similar to the back. But that's okay. I want it that way, so that's why I do it that way. Here I'm debating between the different dashboards, and I am deciding on the one that I placed there. It's the one that looks like watercolor hearts. And now I'm going to try heat embossing for the very first time, and yes, I am not afraid to do things the hard way. Yeah, so you shouldn't probably do heat embossing when there is like these bridges in the paper, because the ink doesn't really stick to the paper that well. And now I'm off camera. Unfortunately, I'm trying out if the word February actually fits across the width of the front cover in these letters, and I find that yes, it does, but it's not going to stay on the hard card. It is going to overlap, and that's where it's becoming difficult. So I have never really tried heat embossing before. It's the very first time, and it's a huge mess. And you will find in the end that I really need to practice some more. So here you can see that somehow the ink didn't get to all of the letters, and then I heat embossed it, and it was a huge mess. It was everywhere. So I am also stamping this on the cover, and I'm going to glue it down. And what you also need to be careful of is that there's no glue near where your heat embossing powder goes, because that's what happens to the front cover. There's going to be a really black splotch where my glue sticks out from underneath. So yeah, making sure that everything fits on where, that everything is placed right. And strangely enough, when I set out to buy a heat embossing ink pad, there were no Versamagic ink pads at my local Michael's. There were no Versamagic ink pads at my local scrapbooking store. So I had to buy this Ranger one, and it didn't really. I don't know if this is the same way the Versamagic works, but yeah, maybe it's part. Well, yes, no, it's 199.9% my own fault that it didn't really turn out the way it did, because it's just a project that is way beyond what I can actually accomplish now. I should practice some more, but I guess it also has something to do with the embossing pad. I don't know how old it is, and I don't I would love to try the Versamagic one because I hear so many good things about them. Okay, so this is what it looks like. If you look close, it's not really that pretty. If you look from far away, it's okay. It was my first ever experience using embossing powder, and yeah, I guess I have to practice some more. I have this the backside of this really red this really lovely bold paper are the Simon bunnies, and I decided to fussy cut this one and try to place it on my cover. It doesn't make it to the front, which is okay. I don't really have a preference on where Simon goes, but it will be on the back, yes, here. And no, I decide no, I don't want one on the front. And I'm looking through all of the die cuts from the Little by Little. I'm debating if I might use the work of art, but I don't end up using that. And I really like that I Heart You cut apart, and I will cut that into a banner shape and put that on my cover. But it's a little bit too wide, and it also doesn't really, no, I'm not going to put it into a banner shape. I cut the banner off. I'm going to place it underneath the stamped February because I think I don't want anything to be there and cover the heart. So I like that. I don't really know what the sticker says. I will have to look later. I like the way this looks right now, so I'm going to move on to the back, and I cut this journaling card from the printable. The colors don't match 100%, but since it's the back and it's not inside, I don't really care, and I probably wouldn't even care if I stuck it inside. So I'm going to stick that down so that Simon is not completely on the journaling card, but like walks on the embossed Cocoa Daisy. And then I am going to get that circle sticker and put it right next to Simon. Going back to the front, I think it needs some more embellishments, not much, just this finishing off part is missing yet. So I'm looking for little things, and I see this red heart on the puffy sticker sheet from the Cocoa Daisy February planner kit, and it fits right, nestles so nicely underneath the U, and then I place another puffy sticker heart right onto the label that reads Bright Idea, and then I have one myself. I add the hello from the alphabet sticker sheet from the sticker booklet from Chimel, and then the whole front cover reads Hello February, I heart you, and then I'm done. Okay, so I think I'm done with my cover. It actually turned out really nice. I really like the way this bold cover contrasts with the back, and oops. Yeah, I'm a messy journaler. So I think what I'm going to do with my first page here is, it was my 40th birthday on the 1st, so I guess I will just mark this somehow and put a really bold big 40 there. And then I will start journaling about my birthday, and see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!